Today, the Ministry of Finance, Budget and National Planning presented a council to memo seeking approval for the second phase of Project Lighthouse, which is a project that is meant to expand, a component that is meant to expand the debt recovery capability of the project. Project Lighthouse is a data engine that collects, integrates, and analyzes data from revenue-generating agencies in order to create insightful information for improved decision-making. Messrs. Carter Consulting, a Nigerian technology company who has worked with the ministry for 3 years, won the contract, first phase of the contract in May 2019. And the second phase that is approved today is in the sum of 316.5 million naira. One major area that we have witnessed remarkable progress in terms of recovery of debts owed to government. Generally, revenue loopholes have been aided by poor information sharing and enforcement. So this Project Lighthouse shows us that many companies and individuals who owe government agencies have refused to honor their obligations, yet are still being engaged and transacted with and even being paid on government payment platforms like GIFMIS and the Treasury Single Account. The ministry in 2019 issued a directive to all ministries, departments, and agencies to aggregate and send to the ministry a list of all debtors and the outstanding amounts that are owed to government agencies. This we have put together in one central point that we call Project Lighthouse. Since that time, we have been able to aggregate 5.2 trillion naira worth of debts that are being owed by to government by third parties. And as of today, we've been able to recover 49.7 billion of this amount through the efforts of work that we've been carrying out on Project Lighthouse. And we're still compiling. Project Lighthouse has brought together data from the FIRS, the Nigerian Customs Service, the Corporate Affairs Commission, as well as data from BVN in one central point. We also were able to get data from 3 states, land registry data from the FCT, from Kaduna State, as well as from Lagos State, and other states will also be joining in the second phase. So what this has done is enabling us to identify revenues that government can collect and actually be able to use the common platform to collect some of those revenues. We're leveraging this project to enhance our revenue collection capability. The contract amount that has been approved by Council today is 316.5 million naira to Messrs. Carter House Consulting for the second phase of Project Lighthouse. So the question that was asked to me is in respect of supplementary budget for COVID-19 vaccinations. Sometime in January, the President has, based on a request by the Ministry of Health, given an in-principle approval for the Ministry of Health to work with the Ministry of Finance, Budget and National Planning to prepare and take to the National Assembly a supplementary budget for COVID-19 vaccination. The submission that was made to Mr. President at that time was in the sum of 399 billion. But included in this 399 billion was a 103 billion for building of primary health care centers. So we've worked with and met several times with the ministry. We've agreed that we'll back out this building of primary health care centers that can wait till later. So there's still a provision of 396 billion for COVID-19 vaccinations for 2021 and 2022. There has been some delays because we expected the ministry to confirm the vaccines donation that Nigeria is expecting. We're expecting a total of not less than 43 million doses of vaccines. So they're supposed to find out when those ones will come, because if we are going to get the donated vaccines and at the speed of the current rollout, we have to be slowing down on what we're buying ourselves. So the ministry is working with partners that are donating these vaccinations. So we see the timelines of the donations and see the gap that the government needs to fill in 2021. But we have already provided to the ministry funds to enable them roll out the vaccines that have already, the 4 million that have been brought already into the country, and the vaccination process is ongoing. So for us, it's still work in progress. We hope in the next couple of days, we'll have clarity on the schedule of vaccines expected from donors, and then we'll now be able to firm up what government has to provide for in 2021. And then for the 2022 component, we will provide it during the 2022 appropriation. For the military hardware, we have met with the service chiefs and the Chief of Defense Staff. They are supposed to aggregate their request for review between themselves and then passing through to Mr. President, then it will be sent to us. So we're waiting for the information of their aggregate requirements.